Well, hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, folks. You're on the panel tonight is the one and only Rudy Bear and the one and only Blue Star. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, Ox.
Evening, Ox.
Evening, Blue Star.
Evening, Rudy.
Do you see the abuse I take before the show starts, Blue Star? It's totally out of order, isn't
it? Certainly the stuff you were getting out today, aye.
I feel as if I might have to put in a grievance, Rudy. I feel as if my dignity's been took away from me.
Well, aye, get your union rep, have a wee chat to him, Ox. That's what I always do.
I'm quite upset about it, really. You know, he's always picking on me, that man.
You sound it.
Anyway, where do we start? Last night, I gave my thoughts and we take it from there.
Aye.
Yeah. How does that sound to you, Blue Star? Well, for me, we started the game obviously very poorly, and the catalyst for that was the left back. Twice he couldn't take a throw in. All right, the ball breaks to Kamara. Makes a bit of had it. I don't know if he was trying to spring an attack or he just made an absolute mess of it. Trying to be clever and scoop the ball round to Tav so he could break away, or he just made a mess of it. I don't really know. We lost the goal. I thought we responded okay as far as going forward and shoving, but once again in the final third, our decision making and our actual killer ball was very, very poor in a big game. We can't cross the ball. I thought Kent was a wee bit bullied at times, and Candias, I love his attitude, I love his work ethic. I hate his crossing. He can't dribble. His decision making's poor, and if I'm being honest, I just don't know if he's quite up to it for us. Like him, but just maybe no there. That just wee bit of quality. Very critical watching the game in the left back last night. The two centre halves weren't great. Tav, very, very average. The boys in the midfield, Kamara had a bad start, and then arguably his worst game since we saw him coming in the team. I thought Jack and Arfield were very poor. Morelos worked hard. Some of his plays excellent. Sometimes he lets himself down a wee bit with attitude, but God, does he take a bit of stick. Last night he was on the player we got. Can't really blame McGregor for the 2 goals. I thought the manager last night had arguably his poorest game for us. Looked second half we were rudderless and we never changed it. And what I couldn't understand, and I'll just can answer this question if you can. It's all right putting Lafferty and Defoe in, but we've spent about 70 minutes and we couldn't get the ball into the areas. So we need somebody to get the ball into the areas before you put anybody on. That's the way I've seen it, Rudy. I could go on and on and on, but that's a quick.
Aye, pretty much hit every nail in the head, Docs. In all honesty, I thought we were very poor all over the pitch, really. You know, I think, as you said, Alfredo worked hard, but as you say, lets himself down a wee bit with that attitude thing, you know. And I hate to say that about him because it's like we're agreeing with, all the nutters in the press that constantly going about the wee man. But he sometimes, he doesn't help himself sometimes. But I thought we were very poor all the pitch. So it looked to me like, when they got the goal set early, I thought, here we go. And it improved slightly, but only slightly for me. I just thought we were poor on the pitch. And it looked like to me there was only one team really wanted that last night, And I don't know why we should be surprised about that, because we know what Aberdeen are like against us, you know what I mean?
But we've got to do the job, mate. It doesn't matter how great an attitude they are.
Aye.
Our attitude was, I know the conditions weren't great, and that helped him and maybe suited the way they played, brought them down to us down to their level. But there's a lot of things I can't get my head around. We're meant to have this guy with a one day left foot.
Yeah.
We've got a young boy on the right hand side taking corners with his right foot.
I know.
There's some things I just don't get. When Mark Warburton was our manager, I did say that stubbornness would lose him his job. It turns out it was something else. He was working behind the scenes and got the sack. I still think Stevie G's the man, He's on a big learning curve, but he's got to learn quick, and we can't be stubborn. If we just set our team up the same all the time, it's easy to stop his playing.
I think what you've got to say about him, Ox, is he's a young manager. He's a rookie manager, right? He's, what is he, 7, 8 months into his first big job.
Aye.
And he's got to be learning now. You see the mistakes that he's made this season. He can't make them again next season. I'm sorry, Ox, but I hate to say that, but he can't make them mistakes again next season. Somebody made a great point for me the other night. I think it might have been Blue Star. I'm not too sure. Or it might have been Jimmy. Somebody made the point. What are they? What's Michael Beale doing? You know, what are they doing? You know, when Steven Gerrard's making these mistakes, are they talking to him? Are they coming up with ideas? Are they saying to him, "Look, Steven, this is not working. Let's try something different"? And maybe he's Steven Gerrard saying, "No, we'll stick with this. Let's just stick with this." You know, I don't know. I mean, you've got guys there with experience. His backroom staff's got bags of experience. Surely they can see what's happening during the game, after the game, and should be sitting down with them and saying, "Look, you know, let's try something a bit different." I don't know whether that's happening or not. I don't know what's happening behind
Aye.
backroom. You know,
I mean, you lose as a team, and when I say a team, I mean the backroom staff, the whole. You win as a team, you lose as a team. But for you plaudits, when we win, Blue Star, we're entitled to critique when we don't win.
Of course we are. The most telling thing for me, unfortunately for the whole night, Ox and Rudy, was listening to the two managers afterwards. McInnes came out with something that I'd never ever heard them saying before. And he came out with two things. And one thing was, he actually mentioned the Rangers team. And he mentioned the fact that he knows how to stop them. He says, if you allow certain players in the Rangers team, he says, the ball, he says, you're half roads there to beating them. He says, and two, he says, I feel for the Rangers fans tonight. He says, because I know exactly how they're feeling. Now, maybe I'm reading too much into that, guys, but he laboured on the fact in his interview afterwards. And in contrast to that, what Stevie came out with, guys, it's like a repeat performance of the last 6 or 7 games that we haven't won. He more or less just says to the press, blame me, it's my squad of players, it's my team. Now, guys, we spoke about the team selection before the game started. That's Stevie G's top 11 that he had out last night. There's nobody in, but there was nobody that was omitted from it that we probably would have put in, including maybe, well, some years probably would have went for Halliday instead of Barisic at left back.
I'm glad you raised that. I'm going to put my stall out there.
But Ox, at the same time,
I think that Barisic is no suited to Scottish football. I'm not going to say the boy's a bad player because there's different types of football played elsewhere. I think he has to go in the summer. We get our money back and we can make a deal and get somebody in. I don't think he's going to cut it. He's not got the heart for it.
Yeah. No. Well, Ox, didn't you notice at the first goal in 2.5 minutes, the glaring obvious thing for me was, now, granted, I was only watching a feed on the follow thing, but you could see it clearly. There was 7 players all round about the guy that was taking the throw in. See in the middle of the park where Kamara ended up passing the body, there was 2 players there. I couldn't get my head around that. Why on earth were all our defenders and our midfielders out at that touchline? Surely to goodness, you don't need your manager to tell you where you should be on the pitch. And we didn't seem to grow for that. I take your point that we started passing the ball, but we certainly did. But Ken, the guys that we're looking for to do something, Ken flatters to deceive at times. The final ball was drastic. We're not getting goals for Kent and Candeias. Now, that's your basic 2 best wingers. Now, if you're not getting goals for wingers, then they've got to be creating a lot for your number 1. Now, our number 1 striker is wee Alfredo. Now, if he's up against 3 and 4 defenders at all times, which he was last night, because every time he even looked at a boy, he had 2 and 3 guys on him.
He's not got a hope.
Exactly. He has absolutely no chance. He can be the best player in the world, and it's not going to happen for you. So the rest of the players then need to move themselves into spaces. And again, Ox and Rudy, how many guys actually taken shots last night? I'm sick of saying the same
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
but
No, I
there's
agree.
nobody willing to take a shot in that our midfield. None of them.
I tell you what, there was a very telling stat I saw the day, Blue Star. My mate texted it to me. Right, between Candace, Arfield, and Ryan Kent, they've scored 17 goals this season between the three of them. The three that play in the same position on the other side of the city have
I
scored
know
44 goals.
exactly,
There's the difference for you.
exactly.
No, there was a journalist not that long back there asked in one of the pressers, asked Stevie Gerrard, about, Alfredo. It looks like if Alfredo's no scoring or if he's not playing or he's suspended or whatever, you struggle to score goals. And he got his hackles up a wee bit about it. But that's exactly how it looks to me
It's
now.
the truth. It is. If
Well,
you look,
I think that was after the St Johnstone game. But I think the actual move that Sumdo came up last night is when we did break through their 10-man defence with about 5 minutes to go in the first half. We're in a great position. Candice is getting a goal. Simple pass into the middle for a tap in.
Poor decision making, though. It's really poor decision making in the final third, and we've suffered from it all season now. And last week we spoke about it, and we spoke about the quality. Maybe it's the quality. We just don't have the quality in the final third. Alfredo runs his guts out, and he tries so hard, but he needs a bit of help.
Rudy, we brought in two guys, and we know for a fact the two of them are on big money. They are. That goes without saying. They were brought in as reinforcements to give them at least a hand and give the rest of the team and the squad a hand. Now, hold our hands up. None of the two of them have done, I would say, I'd try to put it as nice as I can, very little. Defoe scored a couple of goals. It's nothing. You get them across the other side of the city. If you're telling me the guy Burke has anything like the talent that Kent's got, I think you'd need your head read. But you know what? He scores goals.
No.
He scored them more goals. Sinclair hasn't got the ability in 2 feet that Kent's got in one.
Yeah.
But he's got 17 and 18 goals, guys. You've got to look at his stats. Our players aren't scoring goals. And again, as you said, Rudy, you get three guys across the middle of the park. We're playing the same system day in, day out. Why can he not change it and even go for a 3-5-2 in the odd game? Because he'll not do it. Now, sometimes, as you say, he's maybe just been too stubborn. Ox, you got it right. We had this under Warburton. We've had it under Murray. Now, we're on our third and fourth manager. It's not as if we've not spent money, because we've spent very good money. We have. But we're not getting results, and we're certainly not getting the team performances. One game in every 11 and 12 just isn't acceptable, guys. It's no.
No, I think the last 21 games, Blue Star, we've won 10 out the last 21 games. That just, I didn't realise that's how poor it was up until I seen that today as well. 10 out of 21. But it's like I keep saying, you win and lose your games in your midfield. Your midfield's got to control it. It's got to get a grip in the midfield. It's got to control, but you need goals coming for your midfield as well.
We're not dominant enough there, Rudy. I think you've got to hold one hands up and say, I'm sorry, much as I don't like saying it, but the guys that we've got in there, they're not good enough.
We're missing a Graham Souness, a Terry Hurlock or somebody like that in that midfield. That's what we're missing right now.
A bit of hardness and somebody that can control play.
Right, enough for you two. You're starting to bore me now. Right, if people want to join us, what's the number?
Have we got the number back?
Aye.
0141 356 1972.
And you can join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. With both the phone calls, you'll be brought into the call and phoned back by Old School Blue, and then you can join the panel. It'd be interesting to see what people's thoughts are. Well, I'm still on the train. I'm going to put my hand up and say I'm still on the train.
Yeah.
I think we're on the journey. I think all the stats they're all correct. Really, I looked at some today, and they are quite frightening with goal scorers and games won. And because we've drawn the 2 cup games, and we had a bad December. We never started. I just think that maybe the coaching staff are being kidded on about Scottish football, and they've got to learn big time. If they don't, we'll have a problem going forward. But I don't think we're quite at that stage yet, but they've got to learn. I think they've maybe underestimated at Blue Star.
Ox, you've definitely come out with your best thing in the last couple of nights. I think you're bang on. I think they've vastly underestimated.
Is that including some of the lines before the show?
No, seriously, mate. I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think even including Gary McAllister and that, I think they've vastly underestimated it. They definitely have, and I don't think they've looked at the players in the other teams, as we all do, let's be honest, and you're saying to yourself, look, no, the players that we're bringing in are vastly better than what they've got, but they're missing one thing. These other teams are raising their games against us. They play to systems, they're hard to break down, and unless you've got the right players in the proper positions, then you're going to struggle, and I'm afraid that's what's happening to us. We can't seem to break down teams that are sitting in against us. We've struggled the whole season, and we're still doing it. One game out of 6 against Aberdeen, 1-1. I'm sorry, guys, that's just not on.
It's never near good enough, is it?
No, when their highest wage is $2,500, that's fact, guys. $2,500 is their top paid player, and look what we've got. Our reserve, some of our reserve players are vastly exceeding that. So you've got to look at certain stats. We can only get better, we know that, but as Ox says, it's going to have to come, and it's going to have to come pretty soon, guys. You've got 9 games left, and we've got to see improvement, or they guys will not be there. And I think the way Stevie G came across last night, you could tell he was absolutely scunnered. The very fact that he then turned round to Rangers TV and told us straight that he hadn't even went in and spoke to them, that speaks volumes.
It shows you how sick he was, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
He's maybe thought, I need to cool my jets a bit before I speak to him, and otherwise I tell him a new one.
Everybody's got their own style, really. Some people want to go in, they were angry. Some people don't want to let themselves down. That's the choices you make.
Yeah, okay, definitely. I mean, he's a classic guy. I keep going back to this thing though. He's a rookie manager. He's on a huge learning curve. Ox. I saw some. I mean, I know people you're allowed your opinion. I don't have to agree with it, but you're allowed it. I mean, but I saw some ridiculous stuff on social media. He's been in the job 7-8 months. People are conveniently forgetting he goes into the group stages of the Europa League, which I think there's very few thought that would happen. We went on a 14-game run and we only lost 2 games in that 14 in the Europa League. So you need to take stuff like that into consideration. He said one decent transfer window. January wasn't great, but he said a decent transfer window. So he's got another big one coming up in the summer. He's got 9 games now.
I think he's going to get. The problem is going forward, mate. We need to get rid of some players as well. Anyway, we've been joined by the first caller. Evening, Brian. How we doing, mate?
Hi, hello.
What's on your mind, mate?
Well, I was actually at the game last night. Oh, what a waste of 30 quid. Well, it was not a waste of 30 quid to win in the club. But it's no Stevie G's fault. He's put his trust in the players and they've let him down. I can see his point. He's angry and no one to go into the dressing room.
Yeah, I think he's quite an honest guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve and he's quite an honest guy. I know we get some of the sound bites, but that's football.
Aye.
Think we like leadership on the park?
Aye, Tav's not a captain. I wouldn't give anybody pass marks last night. I don't know if you saw. I think it was first half where McGregor and Worrell had the mix-up, and what's that long-haired forward for Aberdeen?
Stevie May.
He near enough got in, and Worrell got it away.
The edge of the box, aye.
I was just behind the director's box where I'm sitting there like, oh no, here we go again.
Mm-hmm. Aye. It could have been. The first goal was a mix-up. That's what changed the whole game. Anyway, we've also been joined by Travel. Wrong evening, Travel.
Good evening.
How we doing,
Travel, you must be sick after all that journey last night and back again to watch that.
All he'd have been doing is sitting in his flat doing Sudokus,
mate. Disappointing. We were beat by the better team. We were beat by a better organised team. Beat by a team with a game plan.
Yeah.
And couple of things you just said there, Ox, and that's what made me lift the phone. Is saying you can't blame Gerrard. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to start blaming the manager and his backroom team, because every time we go up against this team, we get beat the same way, and we just go and make the same mistakes. We set up the same way, and it's just, what is it they say? The first sign of madness is just make the same mistake again and again, and that's what we are doing. We've done that, and then secondly, you mentioned about leadership there. You, Ox, I was a wee bit disappointed with you because you've jumped on the Barisic bandwagon. Everybody seems to be having a wee pot shot at him. He's in and out the team. We've got another fullback who's in the team every single week. And not only is he a fullback,
he was poor last night as well, mate.
He was terrible. And everybody's been talking about how much they want to pay for Ryan Kent. When was the last time Ryan Kent actually gave us something?
Yeah,
but I want to get back to Tavernier again, and I know you and I have this wee carry on thing. I love Wallace, I hate Tav, and it's a good bit of banter. But seriously, Tavernier will never be a captain of your club at all. He does not do anything to change a game, inspire a player. He doesn't get stuck in. The only person that was putting a tackle in yesterday was Ryan Jack. But I expect to see more leadership. I expect to see more emotion. I expect to see somebody getting involved of the captain of your club. And Tavernier doesn't do that.
But Travel, that's not doing to him. Stevie G made him captain.
No, but he's been appointed the captain. You expect him to do something. He must be showing something that makes him a captain. Well, there's another mistake that the manager's made then.
I would like to have seen Stevie on the touchline gaining a bit of welly last night, and he actually just stood.
Let's just even forget about last night, Travel. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think Tav's the worst player we've got in the club. But what I will say is, you would struggle to debate that he comes across as if you like Richard Gough or John Gregg or Terry Butcher or Barry Ferguson. But he's got attributes in his game, but he just doesn't seem like a fist pumper, if that makes sense.
Right, even forget the fist pumping, but see that result last night, he should have been the man, as the captain of the club, he should have been the man that's out speaking to the press afterwards. But he's a coward. He's a coward on the park, and he's a coward after the park. He should have... No Jermaine Defoe. Jermaine Defoe's been there for half an hour, and Jermaine Defoe's getting on for wee bits of... But I think you mentioned it was a good point. We want to put the ball in the box, so we bring Defoe in. But the guy where he does all his work. But Defoe's the man that comes out and faces up to press. I'm sorry, if you're the captain of the club and you've got any respect for the club and us as supporters, you as a captain should have been out there, and you should have been apologising, and you should have been facing up to what mistakes we made last night and that terrible performance. But he did not do it, and that's what the man is a coward and does not deserve to be the man, the captain of your club.
Is there anybody at the club
Travel?
Is there anybody at the club knew that you think should be captain?
But there's
anybody. I can't.
Ryan Jack, Alan McGregor.
Travel Rugg. He was poor last night and all.
Eh?
He was poor last night as well. The only one that shows any leadership qualities or old-fashioned would be the goalkeeper.
The goalie, yep.
Fair enough, and that's what I'm saying. But
Travel, if you watch Ryan Kent, if you watch...
that are more of a captain than Tavernier. I'm giving you names that are more of a captain. There's more about them than what there is with Tavernier.
Travel, if you watch Ryan Jack in the last couple of pressers with the manager, Ryan Jack doesn't even want to be there. He's not that type of guy either. He doesn't like talking to the press for starters.
I'm going to say something. I don't think Ryan Jack's looked fit.
You might be right, mate.
There's a few players that I'm actually wondering how fit they are. Arfield has no kicked a ball since the
29th. Yep, 100%.
Is Ryan Kent carrying something? Because the boy's not doing anything. He's a headless chicken at the moment. There is no end product for him.
No.
Well, that's what happens sometimes with young players, mate. They get carried away when they have a few good games, you know.
We've to play Aberdeen again right before the end of the season once the split's done. I would go as far to say I wouldn't even play Morelos against them because their centres have got him down to a T, and the referees have got Morelos down to a T with their two centre halves. That becomes Maria for me. With Morelos, it becomes Maria a battle for him as opposed to being a team player. It's as if he's trying to prove something, and he's no. And he last night we were getting nothing off him. I know he was working hard, but it just seemed to be he was as if he was trying to prove something.
Guys, see what you've got to keep remembering about we Morelos. He's only just turned 22. He's came to a different country, and see the expectation that's on him now because he's playing with Glasgow Rangers. It's enormous. He's getting hammered with referees. He's getting hammered with every player that's in every opposing team. See now and again, the manager should be leaving him out of that. There's no doubt. But again, we've got a big, massive problem there. It smacked to desperation last night whenever he brought the other two on. And as you say, there was nobody to supply any flipping balls to them.
Does Morelos not bring some of that onto his Selbert?
Absolutely. Of course he does, because he's got a petulant attitude. But then again, what do you do there? It's a kind of catch-22. He's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't.
I'm not convinced I'd play him against him again. Next time we play Aberdeen, I expect him to set up completely differently. Whether he goes two up front or he sets his team up, because the way
he's got to go 3-5-2. He's got to. Sorry, but he's got to.
I think
I'll go 4-4-2 because their midfield dominated us last night.
Yeah.
He's got to do something different. He can't keep doing the same thing all the way to the end of the season. You know, we've got Killie at the weekend before we even get to the next game against Aberdeen.
Which will be a pretty similar game, mate. They'll set up pretty similar.
I come in last night again.
On you go.
Well, last night I was in the stadium for about 7 o'clock. I actually sent the picture of the pitch in. But even just sitting watching the teams warm up, Aberdeen looked like they were training as a unit, and Rangers just looked all over the place. Even when they were training, just warming up, just looking for half to half while they're warming up. I was like, they're training as a unit. They're just, even the Rangers subs were training away for the starting 11.
I think you've got to trust in Stevie G in the sense he's had 2 transfer windows. I think Oxford hit the nail on the head when he says they've maybe underestimated our game to a certain extent because they've been doing in England. He'll have a season under his belt. He knows exactly what he's going to be facing next season. Let's be honest, most of the teams might be able to bring in a few players, but they'll not be any better than what they've already got. We've got to bring in what we're bringing in. He'll know that the standard and the quality has to be an awful lot better.
We've got to watch. I mean, we brought in. I'm not what I just played Barisic. He did frustrate me last night. I'm wondering where he's got the heart for Scottish football. But we brought him in. We brought in Grezda. Injuries. That was a big hole in there.
Absolutely, £6 million. £6 million.
So, we've got to get it right. It's important, and I think we have to really go for quality. We can't go for much of the same. Yes, mate.
Ox, what you're talking about Grezda there and Barisic, and these guys get brought in for one game. They don't turn it on, and then they get dropped again. Right?
Yeah.
Why can they not do the same with Ryan Kent, or why can they not do the same with Candace? Because they're not performing every single week.
Exactly.
If they have a bad game, why are they getting kept in? What's happened to McCrory? What's happened to the boy Middleton? Why are these boys not getting? What's wrong with Katic? See Goldson. Goldson looks as if he's been towing a trailer for the last 3 weeks. He looks totally out of sorts. And the amount of times that Worrell's had to bail him out. Worrell's by far our best defender. At the moment, he's our best defender.
That doesn't say a lot, does it?
No, fair enough, but I don't know.
But the funny thing is, I blamed the centre-halves last night. They weren't brilliant at the goals. I mean, obviously the first one was a mistake. You could argue about a set-up.
That's a boys' club mistake.
What's that?
That's a boys' club mistake. Playing a square ball across your own 18-yard box like that. That's absolutely terrible. Making that type of mistake. Kamara an unbelievable mistake and so naive. And I don't even think Tav was too clever either. But anyway, we left ourselves very, very exposed.
Well, see if you look at the amount of midfielders we've got, guys, including the three that's out in loan, Holt, Docherty, and there's another one.
Rossiter.
Aye, Rossiter. We've got about 14, 15 midfielders now. In all honesty, guys, out of the 14 and 15, the way Stevie G's been performing the team since he's taken over, we've not went through more than 6 of them, I don't think. So Rudy's got a point there when he says, but there's certain guys that aren't producing and yet they're in the team. You know for a fact they're starting every single week. And that's how I keep coming back to the point that I keep reiterating. He keeps telling us he's got 2 decent players for every position. We know that's not true because he doesn't do it. And he doesn't drop certain ones. So therefore, they know they're walking into the team no matter what. And that can't be right. That's not right under any manager. If you don't produce, you shouldn't be on this side. Or you should be dropped for the next game. Rudy's bang on there. He's right.
I mean, when you look at it, the games since we've come back after the split, the 2 away cup ties, we won the good Kilmarnock away, and the league got called. We brought in Defoe and Stephen Davis played them, which, in hindsight, wasn't the right thing to do. We brought them in, and then we St Johnstone at Ibrox, similar game to last night. They're organised, set up. We struggled. Then again last night we struggled. A team who are well organised behind the ball, who are better without the ball, if that makes sense. And then they're always looking to get you in the counter attack. So, is it the players or are we too naive in the setup, Rudy Bear? Sometimes we've got to be flexible and we're setting myself up.
Of course we do. We can't just keep... I mean, we've saw it before with Warburton. We saw it, I mean, to play the exact same system all the time, almost the same team, the same players. And, for me, Daniel Candeias, I used to love the wee man, but he's just going right off the boil. See this? Not being able to get a decent cross into the box, get it by the foot. It's either he's he can't clear the first man or he's overhitting it. It's the same on the other side of the park. And I truly believe, and I said this ages ago, what, and you said to me that they cost money, Ox, a lot of money, and I said to you, what we are really missing right now is a strong man in the middle of the midfield, and we're really missing, in my opinion, a really good number 10. And you said to me they cost money, and you're right.
And a strong centre half.
Well, that's Bridgman's. He's long and weary, as Bridgman would say. He's been going on about that, and he's got a point.
Right through the middle, Rudy. A centre half, a good midfielder, and a good striker.
A big monster of a centre half. That's what Bridgman's been banging on about forever now. It seems like, these problems. We need to sort these problems out come the summer, and hopefully Steven Gerrard he's sitting down with Mark Allen now and saying, right, I know what I need for next season, and hopefully they're on with it. There's guys who played last night. I don't believe Daniel Candeias will be there after the summer. I think he'll be away. And I think...
Rudy, you just said there about having a strong central midfielder or a strong midfielder. Aye. That manager who stood up after the Celtic game and described Ross McCrory as a future captain of the club.
Yeah,
he's a destroyer. He's this, he's that. What's wrong with Ross McCrory? Why can he not play Ross McCrory? What has Ross McCrory done that he's just been totally isolated out of the team now?
Don't know.
4-2 game against Aberdeen, he was the best player in the park.
Blue Star. One at a time, mate. One at a time.
I agree with you 100%, Travel. 100%. I don't know what it is with Ross McCrory. I don't understand why he's left out so much. It doesn't get... Because, I've said this, and I think Blue Star will agree with me. I think Scotty Arfield's been an absolute letdown, to be honest with you.
Who the peace side? And come Blue Star.
I hate to say it without a shadow of doubt, bar the game on the 29th, Arfield has been poor. Let's put it this way, worse than poor. The stronger words could be used, because he has been poor. And at the end of the day, this is how I'm saying, Rudy, you've got it. You hit the nail on the head, the same as Ox. There's certain players walking into our team that shouldn't be walking into our team. Is it a case that Stevie G's looked at the rest of the squad, Ox, and he's went like, wait a minute, I really don't rate you lot. So he's basically sticking with the same 13 and 14 because that's what he's been doing.
Well, if you can't get in the team, it sends out a bad message to you.
Exactly.
Anyway, Rudy, if people want to join us, give us their thoughts. What's the number?
It's 0141 356 1972.
Or you join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. Once you contact us, we'll contact you back and bring you into the call. It'd be great to hear some different views on the team and on the manager as well. We accept all views. I'm still on the train. Travel Rug, he's got a senior ticket, so he's getting his money's worth. He's still on it. But
I'm on the train, but sometimes there's a replacement bus service, and I'm having to get that bus. It's just not as pleasant a journey as what I thought it was going to be.
No,
I think in all though travel, he's 7-8 months. I think they've got to persevere with it.
No, we can't keep changing our manager.
I'm not
exactly
saying that.
What I was going to say. We can't go changing managers every season, you know what I mean, or every couple of seasons. Maybe, I don't know, but no every season. He's got to sort it out in the summer. Now he's had the experience of being here for a season. He saw what he's up against. Saw how teams like Aberdeen, Kelly, Hibs raised their game against us. He's seen the style of football that's played up here, how they set up against us. Now, hopefully, he'll sit down with Mark Allen and sort out the problem areas, you know.
By the way, we'll get a game on Saturday that needs to be won as well. We can't afford to just kiss 9 games goodbye. We'll get the support they deserve every 3 points they can get.
Ox, we've only beat them one. We've not beat them in the league this year already.
No, I know.
We haven't won a league game against them.
I know that, mate. 1 draw at Ibrox. And by the way, they were a better team that night.
Yep.
On you go, Travel. Then we'll go to Brian.
I think the manager. I think he needs to look at his backroom staff because there's the boy that they keep telling us is the master tactician. We don't seem to be either the boy's not very as clever at his tactics as what they're led to believe, or the manager's not listening to him. But Michael Beale, that's the one I'm talking about. Because their tactics in some games have been absolutely bewildering. And we're no, and if Steven Gerrard, I'm with these. I still want him to be there, and I think he deserves at least into next season. But he needs to show that he's learning. And at the moment, I'm not convinced that he is learning because we keep making the same mistakes.
Mm-hmm. On you come, Brian.
It's just on the backroom stuff. We've got Gary McAllister there. What about bringing in Barry Ferguson as an off-the-field captain so that he can sort of back up the field?
I'd rather we had an on-the-field captain.
Aye, but obviously Barry Ferguson can't play. He knows the Scottish game. He knows Rangers. I could say to Stevie G, right, look, did I say that sort of thing? He knows the Scottish game and he knows Rangers. He's a Rangers fan through and through, supposedly.
I think when you give somebody
I'm not jumping on that train.
When you give somebody a job, you've got to let them pick their own management team. Once you start trying to influence them at any level of business, go let management pick their team, you can end up with problems. But I take your point on board. We maybe need somebody different. Anyway, we've been joined by Blue Shadow. Evening, Blue.
Evening, Ox. How we doing?
Hello, Blue.
Been better, Blue, if I'm being honest.
I think, but for me, unfortunately, I think it was nothing that, I mean, I did hint at it on I don't know if it was the night before or the pre-match show, whereby I says, when I was on about Morelos, it didn't matter if he got himself booked or sent off because I had a horrible feeling that something like this was going to happen last night because, I don't know, we seem to have 2 or 3 games and then it all goes pear-shaped again and it's happening too frequently. And that level of consistency, or lack of consistency, only comes from one place for me, and that's the management team. I'm not laying it squarely at Steve Gerrard's head. but that all comes directly from the management team for me. So that needs looking at. But it's not all, I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom, because I had a look today at someone and it quite surprised me, and that was the league table. And the difference between us and the team that's ahead of us in the league is they've turned 4 draws into wins, and that's the difference between the two teams. So it's no, it's not doom and gloom for me, because it is Stevie Gerrard's first season. But he does have to look at himself, because it does appear in the bigger games he doesn't appear to be able to deliver the goods. That's twice that the Sheep have put us out of cups this year, and as I suggested,
I think it's talking about the teams, the sort of the teams are
Hello?
lost you.
I'm still here.
I'm still here.
I'm still here.
Hi, Blue. Are you still on the train, Blue Shadow?
I am still on the call.
The train.
Oh, still on the train? Oh, aye, absolutely, mate. It's sort of, as I said, I don't think we're going to gain anything by changing managers every year. I think this. I'm having severe doubts about this Bale character, or whether something's got to be sorted out. Either he doesn't know his job, as you say, Stevie Gerrard's not listening to him. Either way, he needs to go, because if Stevie Gerrard's not listening to him, what's the point in paying the boys' wages? If he doesn't know his job, we don't need to pay the guy's wages, and he needs to get somebody in. And I was racking my brains trying to think of who I could think of, but we need somebody, preferably an ex-manager with a fair bit of experience, who, for whatever reason, doesn't want to hold a manager's position. I can't think of anybody that would fit that description,
I don't. Sorry, Blue, I can't agree with you. I think that would cause problems. I think if you're going to bring in somebody like that, I can see where you're coming from. I think if you're bringing in somebody like that, that's basically you're saying to Steven Gerrard, you're not good enough.
Undermining him.
Yeah, it's undermining him, exactly. I don't think you can do that to him, Blue. I really don't. I mean, because that's exactly how that would look to me. If in my work, they brought somebody in and said to me, look, this guy's he's going to help you with your job. I'd be like, wait a wee minute here.
That's not what I was actually saying, but I said Stevie Gerrard needs to look at that, because if you don't listen to him, that's part of his budget. That's the whole thing. I was actually saying that. Obviously, I wouldn't stand for the club imposing something like that on me if I was in Stevie Gerrard's position.
But last night, somebody made a really good point to me. Right, 7-8 months he's here. I'm Andy's backroom staff. Maybe they're expecting too much of these players. Maybe Stevie Gerrard and his backroom staff are now starting to look at these players, and they're getting it now. And they're now starting to say to themselves, these guys are not really what we're looking for.
Exactly.
That's what I thought that was a great point. It was my mate said that to me last night.
Rudy, I think that's why a lot of these other guys that we keep saying, how is he not playing them? I think he's looked at them seriously. Let's be honest, he's looking at them every day. And I think that's how he's basically sticking with that 11 that he started last night. And we're wondering how, whether it's McCrory or anybody else, how they've just automatically out the picture. I think he's looked at them.
I'm picking up with McCrory's got a knock, mate. He's got an injury.
I'm only saying him, Ox, because we automatically, Maesties think he should be getting a game. But I'm talking about in general, the rest of the squad. I think he's looked at them, Ox, and he's went like that. No, you're not good enough. And I genuinely do. I think that's how he's basically sticking to that nucleus.
Aye.
Because otherwise, why is it that he's taking so long to even attempt to make substitutions in games when it's crying out for it? Or why is it in certain games when it's not working, he doesn't seem to be able to change it? Because it's almost as if he's reluctant to use other players. That must be the case. Otherwise, he would bring other guys on.
Well, they're going to have to look at their recruitment because on that bench last night was Defoe.
There was experience, Ox, yes.
Big Lafferty and Stephen Davis, who have all been recruited by Mark Allen and Stephen Gerrard.
So is it maybe a bit of rift between Mark Allen and Stephen Gerrard then? Because as you said there, we've spent the best part of guts of $6 million on Barisic and Thingby. Did Stevie G really want the two guys? We don't know. We really don't know.
You'll never know that, mate. You never know that.
Exactly.
Then they go, used to be like two guy around here. We could definitely deal with somebody like him.
No joking, Blue Shadow. You're no joking.
He was a good player.
He still got it as well. I saw him last year, and he was just sitting in the middle of the park, just working this wee area, knocking the ball about. Even at the age he is, absolutely fantastic player still.
Guys, for me, I still come back to the same point. Through the centre of our team, a strong centre half, a right good midfielder, and a right good target man up front. I still think we're crying out for these three players as a basic. I really do. Somebody that can control the game in the middle of the park. We're crying out for it. We've got all the midfielders, and not one of them can you honestly say is conducting the orchestra, so to speak. There's none of them able to do it. We need a guy in the middle of that park that can handily sell.
Up until last night, we thought we'd fund somebody in
Kamara. I know that.
I mean, the boy got after a bad start last night, and anybody can have a bad game. So let's not bury him yet, you know.
Yoks, that the boy won't go on and be that, you know, because he looks like he's a player. He looks a player. It's right what you say. That was schoolboy stuff, you know. Blue Star's correct. It was that pass was just schoolboy stuff. You don't do that on the edge of your 18-yard box. You don't. I know a square pass. It's a total no-no. We've already seen that. Worrell's done it this season. McCrory done it earlier in the season.
Arfield done it 3 games ago.
It's why they're doing this? It's just a no-no. But anyway, as far as Kamara's concerned, there's nothing to say that boy won't go on and be the kind of midfielder we're looking for, who will control the centre of the park for us, because he looks a player. But at this particular moment in time, it's a lot to put on a young player's shoulders like that who's just come into the club, you know?
Absolutely.
Aye.
And again, dare I say it, we thought probably we were getting one in there as reinforcement in Stephen Davis, and for whatever reason, whether it's fitness or not, exactly. Exactly.
Miles
off the pace.
Talking about people who are fit, the Bookie Basher has joined us. Evening, Fox.
Evening, Ox.
How are we doing, mate?
What are you bringing me in for?
The king of the tipsters.
I had a good day yesterday, not so good today.
What's your nap for tomorrow, mate? The whole world wants to know.
Oh, no look chat, mate. Anyway, what did you bring me in for?
Just to see your thoughts, mate. I mean, I know you're a hardy guy. You wore your sandals to the game last night.
Oh, and, God.
What was your thoughts, mate, sitting there? Was it frustration, anger, disappointment? How did you feel?
Just disappointment. We never played anywhere up to what we can play like. One thing was worse than another last night. First of all, the weather was horrendous. Didn't make for a good game in the start anyway. Secondly, Rangers were terrible. And thirdly, and nobody's mentioned it, the referee in the middle of the park spoiled the whole game.
Oh, yes.
First of all, he couldn't wait to book Morelos, knowing that would put him out the semi-final. That was never a dive. He was manhandled in the box, and it was a penalty kick without a doubt. He let the Aberdeen players continually haul and kick us all the way through the game. He gave out 8 bookings, and that's supposed to justify that he handled the game. It did not, mate. Every time we got a move gone or a man free, he was stopped in his tracks by illegal means, as I say, all the time. I watched Aberdeen play against the Tims the weekend. There wasn't that sort of play. It's always just reserved for Rangers, mate.
And I know.
Sorry?
Because they know they'll get away with it. They know they'll not get away with it against the Tims.
Fox.
Yes.
Fox, apparently, a couple of things for last night. Apparently, Considine fouled Alfredo Morelos 8 times before he got booked. 8 times.
Mate, you could see the tactic for the start was put Constantine on Morelos to haul and pull him about, and as soon as they get booked, it was to pass him on to McKenna to do the same thing.
Stevie May.
Pass him on to McKenna.
Stevie.
That's what happened, mate.
I know.
Exactly what happened.
Absolutely.
Stevie May had been booked, and then he kicked the ball away. He actually stopped, had the ball in his horn, looked at the referee and kicked the ball away.
I was in our book now, second yellow card.
He booked Candace for that thing earlier and then never done it to him. He spoke to him about it as well. What is that?
The whole thing, that spoiled the game for me. I'm taking nothing away from Aberdeen. It was up to us to break them down and try and beat them. But when teams go to those extremes there, you can't... Our passing was bad enough all night, don't get me wrong. Suicide pass by Kamara to give away the first goal. And after that, I think Kamara lost all his confidence, mate. He was never in the game after that. And I've said before, multiple times on this show, that we're two wingers are no use to us out in the wing. They've got to come inside, get in the box to back up Morelos. That doesn't happen, and the only person that arrives in the box is usually Arfield. And we had 2 players getting into the box there with 3 defenders, and that happened all over the park last night. They sat with when they got their lucky goal to start with, 10 behind the ball. They sat behind there, and we went man for man, and they always had a spare man to go along with that. Their tactics worked, they bullied us, everything else, their tactics works. No complaints, we just weren't up to it last night.
Well said, Fox, well said. Very fair, very fair. Did you hear that, Trevor, of 4 winners yesterday at Cheltenham?
Oh, very good, aye. Just didn't get a winner at Ibrox, unfortunately. That was sure they gave them all up for a victory last night. Well, maybe no.
Oh, I would have, mate. I'd have given them all up for that.
I know you would, mate. No, but falling off winners, that's a kind of the key word for us just now. That I think we're now beginning to see that there are not enough winners in that team. There's a stinking attitude. When there's big games come on, some of these players just will refuse to stand up and be counted, and that's a worry. Yeah, how many times have they let us down in big matches this season?
I think that's a great point, Trevor. But the trouble with our club is that every game's a big game because of the nature of the Scottish football.
No, but they've went out and they've strutted against Dundee, and they've wallowed in playing mediocre against Hamilton, but getting a good result. But see, when it's came to playing against Hibs and Aberdeen, and it's even hard to call them big games, but we've been embarrassed. We've been, as a support, we've been let down.
Yep.
And by the way, I think a special word must go out to the support last night. The numbers that turned out in that wild evening, you know.
But I mean, we'll continue to go along, but whilst we're putting up with that, it's no appealing, is it? And just that kind of brings me on to another thing.
There was no atmosphere last night, guys.
That was
none at all.
That thing with the Union Bears where they
were
singing for the first half and all that, which I'm not even going to. I don't really want to talk about that. But the one thing I want to bring up, Ox, is that's now almost it'll be 6 days now has passed, and the club's not come out and made a statement about our captain being attacked yet again.
Yeah.
At Easter Road.
I know a lot of people have been disappointed by that, mate, about the assault that was made on James Tavernier by the same club and group of fans who assaulted some of our other players back in the cup final in 2016, mate.
But see, Ox, my point is that about all the supporters turning out to games, right, and our support gone along on nights like last night. Well, our board will come out and basically, after they carry on with that Stevie Clark one, they come out and make a statement, and then they come out and they pander to the horrible media, and all the hand wringers in this country, and they criticise their own supporters, and then they come out and they tell us to behave ourselves and represent the club. There's been instances that's happened. The thing with James Tavernier, our club captain, being attacked yet again after the last one, getting attacked at Hampden, when they came out and made a statement but never ever followed that up.
I thought that was you, Tay. I seen the boy jump out of the barrier, then I realised it wasn't you.
But seriously, Ox, what I'm trying to get is that this board, they are no encouraging me as a supporter to continue to go. There's the Aberdeen fans was singing the same song to Stevie Gerrard that the Rangers fans had been singing to Stevie Clark. And our board didn't come out and criticise anything or say anything. They've just sat there and ignored it, and they've no come out and defended anybody, and they've no come out and criticised anybody else. The crap we're having to put up with the referees, every game now we seem to become, after it coming out and saying, if the referee had made this decision, the game would have been different. The Hibs game was a terrible performance for a referee, and they didn't come out and say anything. The Hibs game, there was a round captain was attacked, they haven't come out and said anything. Then last night, they should have been on that. They should have been on with Stevie Gerrard getting singing songs means nothing to me. I couldn't care less what Aberdeen fans are saying.
No, it's a double standard you're going on about your point.
Exactly. Where we're being criticised by our own board, they need to come out and then criticise other people, Ox. Show us a bit of support.
We're doing that, and they need to stick up for their own support. Anyway, we've reached that time of the evening. Get yourself in mute. We'll go back to that point, travel, but we'll have a tune, we'll have a chat, and then we'll hear from the manager. Get yourself in mute. Well, thanks for that, Fox. Well, back, gentlemen.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm here.
All right.
I think your point is, Travel. I mean, we're not easily offended, me and you, yeah. We don't get upset with other teams singing songs,
No.
but it's a double standard that's annoying you.
Well, yes. As I say, our club will come out and make a statement, and that for me, when they come out and made that thing at the statement about just after the Steve Clarke thing, that's basically admitting guilt, and I felt that we had nothing to be ashamed of or guilty of. There are a small minority of supporters that happen to sing that song at the stadium. I never even heard it, but there was people sung that song, but then we're all tarred with that same brush, right? Now, the same thing happens last night. Nothing. The carry on it, we had to put up with Easter Road. Nothing. I just feel as if, are we getting taken for granted as a support? The players aren't producing it for us. The board aren't backing us up.
I think you're going to watch Travel.
You've got a point, Travel. If they're coming out and hammering their own support for certain songs, then they've certainly got to come out and hammer opposing fans when they're doing it in our own stadium. You're spot on.
See, it's easy for them to shine the light on us, but what they need to do is shine the light on everybody else. Rangers supporters cannot keep carrying the can for what's wrong in Scottish football. At the moment, the media are enjoying that. They're having a field day with us just now. So see when their own board come out.
By the way, we've saved Scottish football, mate.
What?
We've saved Scottish football. The interest was waning.
Aye, we've been subsidising it.
You there, Travel?
I'm still here, mate. And I'm not disagreeing with you, Ox, but all I'm saying is that we were talking about being supporters, the supporters turning up last night, and Fox mentioned it. The weather was absolutely terrible last night, but we all turned up. We all paid the extra money. I mean, that's 2 replays that we've paid, and we'll buy the tickets. But even that, you would have thought that one of the games they're charging what was it? I think I was 27 quid, and I mean I can't remember what I paid for my dad's ticket for the concession, but that would have been they got us a 20 quid as well. So you would have thought they could have turned around and said, you know what, boys, we'll charge this one at 20 quid or something. It's hard.
I think the problem with that is the stupid rules, mate. Unless the two teams agree, you can't reduce the price.
But why don't they not come out and say it? Why do Rangers as a club not come out and say, look, we tried to reduce the price to 20 quid, but Aberdeen said no, or Kilmarnock said no. Why do they not come out and say that? Because by them not saying anything, then I think our own club's complicit in it. Right? I believe that they're just as guilty, quite happy taking money out of my pocket. And that's fair enough. I can afford to pay that money. I can afford to take my dad along again. That's an enjoyable night for me, spending time with my dad at the game. That's something that I'm quite happy to pay for. But not everybody's fortunate enough to be in that position.
Oh, no, everybody's got that spare cash, mate. You're right.
Exactly, and also the speed at which the games are turned round. For somebody to turn around and say you're going to have to find 27 quid, or if it's a fella that's got 2 wains to take along, before he knows he's 40, 50 quid out of pocket. And some guys don't have that money to throw about, but they'll do it because they love the team.
Oh, they'll find it, mate. They'll find it.
Of course they will. But what I'm saying is...
Anyway, I think it's only fair for looking back last night. Some great points there, Travel Rock, and I'm sure a lot of them will be debated in the future. And maybe it'll be something as maybe the International Week develops. There's maybe something we can look at. But let's hear from our manager last night and get your thoughts on that, lads. So get yourself to mute. Let's see if our manager, Stephen Gerrard, MBE.
Stephen, how do you look back on those 90 minutes?
With major disappointments. It's a huge blow. This was a huge game for the club, for myself, for the players, for all the fans, and we've let the supporters down. I take full responsibility for it. We were nowhere near good enough tonight. I thought the best team won. We started the game extremely poor, and we never really got much better from there. We've gifted them a goal, and I think everyone knows if you let Aberdeen get the noses in front, they're a tough nut to crack, and that was the case.
The fact they got that goal so early, did that change your game plan?
No, because you still got belief and confidence that the players can react in the right way and find the answer and try and get back in the game. But the reality is we never tested their keeper nowhere near enough over the 90 minutes, and we've obviously been done on a counter when we're obviously trying to force the issue and get back in the game. But we've got no complaints in terms of the results. They deserved it. They've bullied us in certain areas of the pitch today. They wanted it more in certain areas of the pitch, which is a major concern. So yeah, it's extremely frustrating right now. I haven't gone in to speak to the players because I don't think it's the right time. I don't feel ready to speak to them just yet because I'm angry.
Short term, how do you address those concerns you mentioned?
Well, we have to regroup and push on and try and finish the season as strong as we can. It's going to be a difficult day at the weekend because we're going to have a lot of fans coming to the game upset, and myself, I have to try and pick the players up to try and find the performance to bounce back.
What message do you have for those fans that came out in huge numbers tonight?
I don't think anything I say is going to make them feel any better short term. But what I will say is, we'll be back in terms of cup competitions. We'll be back. We'll be better, and we'll give it a better go when the time's right. For me now, all we need to do is try and finish this season as strong as we can, and that starts Saturday.
All right, Rudy Bear.
Well, he's hit the nail on the head. They're just not good enough, is basically what he's saying. Yeah, and I think he's come to that realisation. That was my point sort of 20 minutes ago whenever I made it, Ox. I think he's come to the realisation that some of these guys are not what we're needing. There's not what we're looking for. We've got 9 games to go to the end of the season. Basically the season's done apart from the 9 games. But he's right, we have to finish as best as we possibly can. We're still going to play the 9 games. And they need to get their act together, get out there and start gaining some performances because the Bears are packing out Ibrox, as Travel was just saying there. 48,000 again there last night in a replay. So they've got to start paying back the fans with performances against teams now, starting with Saturday. But listen, he sounds very despondent there to me, and like you say, they didn't even bother going in to speak to him. He was so angry with them. And I can't say I blame him. Because I don't care what anybody says. Aberdeen does not have better players than we've got. They don't have better players. But they wanted it more than us last night. It's as simple as that.
Are you saying they've got a better manager then?
No, I'm not saying that. Derek McInnes knows Scottish football. He knows what he's got to Aberdeen. And he's got Aberdeen playing to their strengths. And you can't take anything away from that. It might not be the kind of football that you'd want to go and sit and watch week in and week out. But look, let's know he's got results against us this season. That's twice they've put us out of cup competitions now.
Well, he coached Stevie Gerrard. Does that make him a better manager?
It certainly looks like it. It doesn't necessarily make him a better manager because, as I keep saying, Steven Gerrard's a rookie. He's learning the job now.
It's what McInnes said after the game, as I said again, he came out and he said, why he did this, it was quite exceptional for listening to managers talking about other teams. What I'm saying is he basically said to the press he knew how to stop the Rangers playing. He says there's certain players in their team, he says, that you've got to shut down. He says, and if you manage that, he says, you've more or less kind of won the war. Nobody can disagree with him, mate. We can't, because that's what they've been doing. They've done it to us 5 times out of 6.
They get in front of Tavernier, they don't let him carry the ball. They let the 2 centre halves have the ball as long as they want.
Yep.
Every time Kent gets on the ball, he's got 3 players running him.
3 players run him, exactly. And Morelos gets hammered with 2 big ones.
Yeah.
That's it.
Stephen, there's 3 players in 1 player. That means there's space for other players.
Exactly.
Do not have the ball to fill that gap.
That happens, you're right. But the other players have got to go into these spaces and actually look for the ball. They don't do that.
No, we're too rigid and one-dimensional, guys, because there's too many games we're playing the same system, week in, week out. And at the moment, we don't seem to be able to deviate from it. Like if somebody's doing that against us to counteract it, we don't seem to have the know-how they know to counteract them. To then get one up on them. We seem to be able to play one way, and that's it.
And Boy Shadow's back with us. You all right, Boy?
I've been sitting there. I sort of, I think it's we keep playing the same way. And, McInnes is no fabulous manager. Didn't kid yourself, Owen. He's been playing this way against us for
I like to watch it every week, mate.
I know. He's been doing the same thing for a good few years now. And that's why he's all right against teams like ourselves, that lot across the city, and perhaps some other teams that will come out and attack him. But as soon as it comes to getting the points against the lesser teams, that's why he's 9 points behind us at the 8 or 9 points behind us at the minute, because he can't break opposition teams, dude.
You can say what you want. He has owned us this season.
Yeah,
he has owned us. He's owned our manager. He's set his teams up and he's frustrated us, but he's walked away victorious. He's knocked us out of both cups. He's beat us at Ibrox. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and criticise Derek McInnes. He's done his job.
Of course,
I'm not saying he's a better manager than Steve Gerrard, not for a minute, but the facts are there, guys.
He's done the same thing that he's been doing for years, like I said. It doesn't make any difference. He's just done the same thing, and he's got it down to a fine art now. That's how it is.
Blue. He played two young boys in that midfield last night. The boy Ferguson, and then the other one, Dean something.
He dropped Stewart, and Stewart's been one of their best players. He had the ball to do that.
I bet he's bringing in younger players that are going out there and dominating our players.
Yep, without a doubt.
I'm not saying. I think I was quite happy we dodged the bullet with him, but let's be clear here. He's done a job against us this year. And do you know something? I've seen the manager Oxwell were just on the manager's press conference. He said something there which worries me. He's saying I've got to go in there and lift the players. See the players? That tells me all I need to know. If he's got to go in there to lift them, then the players don't deserve to be at Ibrox. The players should be ashamed of what happened to them last night. They shouldn't need anybody to lift them. They should be coming out there on Saturday to prove a point.
Is that no more
the supporters back on side?
Is that no more to the point why he said that? Is that no Stevie G telling us, the fans, that he's looked at our squad? No doubt about it. He's probably brought in a few players that he thought were going to do as a job, and hands up, it's not worked. And he's looked at that now and he says to himself, you guys aren't going to be here next year, which brings us back to the next 9 games. Guys, one thing we've got to do, the 2 games against them, we've got to win at least one of them. At the very least, we've got to put on a decent show. See, at the moment, guys, well, that's what I'm saying. Can you see our players actually rising? As you just said, he's telling us he's got to try and go in there and G their players up. As you're saying, they shouldn't have been G'd up. They should have been coming out last night and running over the top of Aberdeen players, and they couldn't do it.
That's not his job. The captain should be doing that. He should be sorting them out. They should be having a team meeting in the dressing room, and the captain leading it off and creating merry hell about that. That manager shouldn't need to go in and do that.
Absolutely, but our players aren't doing it.
He came out on Friday after the game against Hibs and said how disappointed he was and how the players never done this and the players never done that.
Exactly.
He never changed it.
Exactly.
He changed one player that he changed the week before and the week before that and the week before that. Just keeps messing about with a left back, and that's him changing the team. How about drop some of the other players? Kildare, Sir Kent, they'll kick their ass.
And as you say,
Arfield. We've all been complaining about Arfield. When is he going to stand up and make a decision and change a team?
Is Arfield, as Ox was saying earlier, is Arfield and Jack fully fit? I'm not 100% sure that they are, because as say, we found out that after the last time that Jack wasn't 100% fit. That's why a large proportion of the reason that he was playing well that game.
Well, what does that say? What does that say about us then? If he knows they're no fit and he's playing them, that makes us. We don't want to go down that line because that makes us even worse off than what we think we are. We can't be playing players that aren't fit. We can't be doing it, guys.
Playing them, Blue Star, because he thinks that's his best team. That's why he's playing them. You know.
So he reckons the rest are that bad that he's got to play players that aren't even fit. We can't go down that line. We can't.
Performances we've had this season, right? You can go back. There's many, right? There's no use just going back all of them all because we all know what they are. And it's more or less been the same 12, 13 players.
Absolutely. All the time.
He's obviously looking at what he's got there now, and he's thinking, unfortunately, this is the best I've got right now. And it wasn't that long ago, I can't remember what game it was after, but it wasn't that long ago when he actually said in one of his post-match interviews, if these players are not up for it, then it's my job to find players that will be come the summer.
Right, Rudy. So what happens then when it comes to the summer and he goes to King and the board and he says, look, guys, most of this squad, I'm sorry, I've made mistakes, I take that on board, but I need proper dough here to bring in better quality. The first thing they've got a right to say to him is, well, we gave you extra dough in January. You promised us we were lying equal tap. We brought in 2 players on big wages and they've no kicked a ball for us.
But they can't say that though.
How?
Because that's not an answer. If they turn around and say that to him, so what does he do? He just persists with what he's got to know. The board knows that they can't persist with what they've got to know because you and I and the rest of the Bears that watch them week in, week out, know they're no good enough. 21 games with 110, that's no good enough. It's just simple.
Well, a nuclear say about 14 players. I know, I'm agreeing with you.
Aye, yeah, so the board can't turn around and say that. It's the board's job come the summer to find the money. To up the quality. We all know the positions that need looked at. You said it yourself, we were talking about it earlier, Blue Star. Yeah. Right through the centre of the team needs to be looked at. And that's going up the summer. It costs money. It's their job to find the money. That's why they're sitting on that board.
And name more bloody kids. Let's get somebody with some reasonable experience. I'd rather have 2 or 3 players that have got reasonable experience right up the spine of that team. Then you can hang the kids off it.
Absolutely.
But we've got experience. We've went and got experience, and we've done nothing with them.
And it's no work.
Davis, Defoe, Arfield. What's wrong with the boy Stephen Kelly? Anytime he's come on, he's looked as if there's something about him. What's wrong with throwing him in?
Who's been our best player since the turn? Who's been our best player since the December the 29th, guys?
What's that? I know it's difficult on Skype. Everybody's slightly delayed.
Anybody?
By not bring you in. Carry on, Travel.
I'm just saying that. But I know you boys are saying that about bringing experience in. We've went down the experience route. You're just saying how we've spent money on, big money on bringing in your Davises and Defoes. It's proved to be a bit of a failure so far. So do you know what? There's boys in that youth team. For me, he's got to send a message to these players. You're not delivering for me. You're letting this support down. You're not up to the standard of Rangers. So do you know what? You're either on the bench, you're sitting in the house on Saturday. Here, I'm going to bring a boy in. There's nothing more humiliating for a player like that. If you've got some guy that's been strutting about there thinking he's first team and he's always a regular pick, bang, take him out of the team and put a young boy in and say, look, you're getting too big for your boots here. Get somebody in there that'll do a job. And even if it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, shake them up. Because they're all starting in there knowing their names on the team sheet. That's the way it appears to me.
I disagree with you in the fact of Defoe, because the Defoe, every time he's got the ball, almost every time he's got the ball in the position where he operates, he's put the ball in the back of the net for me.
Right,
I think our failure is to put the ball in the position that is required, in the area that he operates and where he can get the goals for us. Where we've maybe failed is maybe Stevie Gerrard's brought him in and thinking he can replace Morelos, I think most of us could have said that Defoe is not a direct replacement for Morelos.
For every Defoe, there's a Davis. For every Defoe, there's a Lafferty. So
I'm not saying I never wanted Lafferty signing. I thought Davis would be a success, but I say, I totally agree. He's not been the boy. But it appears every time we get a young lad that comes on, maybe puts in a half decent performance, or is on the fringes of the first team, Steven Gerrard, for some reason, sends him out on loan.
Or he brings in Kamara, and when we got to the top of the league, he had a couple of good games, and he played him 6 or 7 on the trot. He done the same with Middleton. Middleton had a good game in Europe, guys. We all seen it. And he then brought him in the next half dozen games, decided he wasn't good enough, and automatically dropped him. I agree with what he's saying. But at the same time, we know where managers made mistakes. He'd be the first to admit it himself. But looking at the next 9 games, I'm asking you, can you see him changing to what he's already been doing? I'm being honest, guys. I don't think he can, because I don't think he reckons he's got the players to change it. I really don't, or he would have done it by now.
I like to think that's the answer rather than he's just been stubborn. What's Shadow?
I'm beginning to worry that it is that as you know, I've been wondering that for a wee while now. I mean, he's changed it a couple of times. He went 3-5-2 once. I think was that against Motherwell, and it went badly. He's never done it again.
Never done it again. That's right.
He played the 4-4-2 diamond twice, and we've never seen that again. And it just, fact is, are they not doing the work? Are they not doing the work on the training field? What is it? Just players? Because I don't see it. I see we have got the players to play a 4-4-2. There's no doubt about it, and we could change it. But it's got to be that you've got to be playing the right players in the right position. And I'm afraid, I don't think Roberto Morelos is the player to play off if you're playing 2 up front, because he just doesn't seem to like playing with anybody else.
Star, just wait, I'll bring you in. Let the boys finish, yeah? It's just a delay on Skype. It causes it, mate, all right?
Yeah.
You there, Star?
Yep.
All right,
I see him trying to play very much the Liverpool way, guys. And unfortunately, that's not working up here simply because, one, we don't have the calibre of player that Liverpool have. We're playing 3 up front, 2 wingers and a striker. And as you've just said there, a lot of the times he seems rigid on the fact he's got to play Morelos. Now, even when Morelos had bad games, let's be honest, guys, he isn't dropping them. You can't do that at a club our size. There's got to be ready-made replacements there so that if a player's not producing, he should be dropped. He's got to be taken out of the team, or he's at least got to be substituted, and that's not happening with us. Not just with Morelos, who, by all intents and purposes, seems to be getting the name of our best player now. But in other positions, as we've talked about tonight, when it comes to McCrory, if he's carrying a knock, fair enough, that's understandable. But there's other players there that are automatically walking into the first 11 every week, and they're not producing, therefore they shouldn't be in the first 11. So as it going back to what we've been saying all night, as he looked at the rest of the squad and made up his mind, they guys aren't good enough, I'm not putting yous on. And as Oxchair's saying, he can't do that either, because if there's other players there he's just go down and say to themselves, there's no point in me trying here because he's not going to play me.
I mean, for me, he's not played the Liverpool system because he's, as you say, you got Kent one side, you got Candias the other. They're sitting there with paint on their boots, and you're left with poor Morelos there in his own virtually, unless Arfield can get up beside them. You look at Liverpool; they've not got 2 wingers. They've got 3 strikers that can move wide as well. That Mane and Salah as well, along with Firmino in the centre. Both of those guys can play wide, and they can come in and act as strikers.
You're talking about a different level altogether there, haven't you, Blue Shadow?
Absolutely. I mean, they also operate. You see, they operate a whole lot. Like I said earlier, they operate a whole lot narrower. Those 3, and where your width comes from is your 2 wing backs coming howling up the outside, like young lad Robertson, another guy with a double-barreled name that I can never remember coming up the other side. And we've got the wing backs, but we don't play those. We don't have those guys coming in close to get support to Morelos. So the poor guy gets left isolated. And 1 in 5, you're lucky if you can make something out of a ball in those times.
Anyway, can I cut across you? We've been joined by the Global Ambassador. Evening, Mr. Global Ambassador.
Evening, gentlemen. Evening.
How we doing, mate?
All right, Al.
Aye, wonderful, man. Aye, the best thing about my day is I've just had a plate of Stovies. What was I going to say? Kent and Candias flatter to deceive.
Of course they do.
Simple as, right? You're talking about Liverpool. Somebody was on the other night there and said that Gerrard's here getting groomed for a Liverpool job. At the moment, he couldn't get the Liverpool under-10s job, right?
No.
And Gerrard, like every other manager that's came before him and every other manager that will be there after him, is open to criticism. His record's diabolical. As a wise man for Ayrshire says, it's garbage, right? That's what his record did. His record's garbage. He's only getting a bit of a free ride because he's Steven Gerrard. He had that run in Europe, so there was things behind the scenes saying, was that run in Europe? That's allowing for our mistakes in the league and that. That's been gone now. He's made more mistakes since leaving Europe. He's had a worse record in the league than he did when we were playing in Europe. So he's open to criticism. You're talking about wing-backs. Tavernier again, flatters to deceive. What they don't have, none of them in that team has a set of balls. We have players that are sitting on the bench. The guys are right as well. We've got players that we can see that's got a set of balls. We might not win the game, but at least they're going to give 100%. That's McCrory. He'll give 100% in the middle of the park. Definitely. Moving forward, I think this is what we would have got. Bringing in a rookie manager, because he is a rookie manager. He has no managerial experience in any top flight league. This must have been built into the business plan. Sure to God. Also, the club. I'm sick to the back teeth of the club no defending or no coming out and saying anything what happened at the weekend. That was outrageous what happened at the weekend. A player coming on the park. It was outrageous what happened last night. Them calling Steven Gerrard an orange bastard, yeah. But there doesn't seem to be as much screaming and shouting about it this morning.
It's all the news. It's in all the papers now.
Is it? Aye, is it?
No, not at all.
Correct. But where is the club? Where is the club in that? Because I'll go back to what I'm saying to you. If a player on the side of the park doesn't see a player on the park doesn't see strong leadership at the side of the park, and the manager can't see strong leadership, however that might be, for the boardroom, we're going to be weak. We're going to get bashed about. Until we get some bulldogs on the park, some bulldogs in the offices and the administration of Rangers, I think this is the way it's going to be, guys. It's as simple as that. And for me, it's been a total failure, this experiment, because that's what it is. It's been an experiment. He's going to win hee-haw. I don't think now we've got a chance of winning the league, because I think the confidence will be shot in the squad. He's out the 2 cups. For me, football now is, and we can look at the past, is immediate success. I was talking to a couple of guys about this. It's immediate success. If we don't get success with whoever manager's there or whatever player is, they have to go on. You have to bring somebody else in that will give success. I'm not into this building for the future crap, because we've no built for the future. We've got young players that he doesn't play, or he sends them out on loan. Yeah, and brings in players that are injured, spends money on injured players, brings in players that didn't like playing on what's it called, AstroTurf pitches. That's not good in Scotland. 40% of the league games are played on, or 30% of the league games are played on plastic surfaces. So a bit of homework needs to be done. I'm just sick of it, man. I've never really, I'm not just saying this because but I wasn't too impressed. Where I know he's Steven Gerrard, but at the beginning, man, I wasn't. I had my reservations, but I went with it, and I don't think I can't see it. Because I don't think he's the type of manager maybe that needs 30-40 million that can buy a Mo Salah, you know what I mean? But buy a player that you didn't really need to coach. You just tell them, this is what I'm wanting to do. You don't need to coach them. Their players need coached. They need the first touch worked on. They need the passing ability worked on. They need to be told, keep your head up and have a look when you're passing. You know what I mean? Just simple things, man.
I wonder what they're on the training field when they can't cross the ball and get it back, man. I really wonder what.
I can't what I'd be doing with the ball. I'd be booting the ball right off his cutting. Telling him that's where he put the ball right in the other boy's cutting. Kent as well, man. Everybody's talking about bringing Kent. He's crap, man. He floats about, but he's one goals with him. there's another man, Arfield. He's flat to deceive as well, man, a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Candias, like, he scores a good goal, and then his work rate last night was non-existent, really, eh? Tavernier, he's...
And then we bring Stephen...
I'm scared to say, Stephen Davis, why did you bring him if you wouldn't got to play him or if he wasn't fit? Simple as.
Exactly, he's not even fit.
Aye. Just funny decisions. I don't know whether he's made all the decisions. I'm just really frustrated, guys. You can probably hear that.
Oh, never again, Big Man.
Would you never again? It's just crazy decisions, and I think that all comes to the top. Like, they are trying their best, granted, but they're very quiet. They're very quiet, man. And
do you know the first one to come on the show? And I think Trevor intimated earlier on that maybe we need some strong leadership on and after part. Stuart Robinson. You know, a role to play. I'm not saying appease the support, but support the support when they're right. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. That's all I'm looking for. Is we need to be unified here. We've been getting slated for a long time now, and nothing. They're not coming out and they're coming out and criticising us, but they should be coming out and supporting us. It's the same way. It's the same with the referees. We have had a right time out with referees this season. No, recently it's been really quite bad, but the one Friday night there, the Hibs game, it's probably the worst refereeing performance I've ever seen. Now, I've mentioned this before. See, if I was Steven Gerrard, I would have, at the next press conference, I would have had all the referees' mistakes playing on a screen behind me at the press conference, and just let it run. Don't need to say anything. Just let it run in a loop, showing all the mistakes for that referee, and then do it at the next press conference. Because we just cannot sit back and accept us. You look what happened in the Rotten Mob. We went out and beat them fair and square on the 29th of December. Right? Nobody could argue we were the better team, and they were lucky to get out of there. Within a week, the whole story had changed. The referee had made the mistakes. Alan McGregor should have got punished here. Alfredo Morelos should have got punished here. Lo and behold, a month later, McGregor's had a 2-match ban, and Fred got a 3-match ban. So we never get punished for what happened at the Old Firm game, but they got us a few weeks later. And that was all because they started a campaign to say that the referee in the Old Firm game missed things that these two players had done. That's no mistake. That's no a coincidence that they two got it, because they've been gunning for they two. And you can say what you want, but our club will not come out and criticise referees. They're pussies, absolute pussies.
Right, can I come in there? Right, about referees, let's go right back to the Candias incident. The one where he got sent, did he get yellow carded and sent off for getting punched in the face, basically, by one of their lot. But the fact was, our club came out and they made a statement. And everybody went, oh, our club's wonderful. It's come out and made a statement, this, that, the next thing. And I said at the time, there will be nothing happens about this unless they follow it up and take this all the way to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, which is FIFA's designated where you've got to take your disputes to and force the issue. We never heard another bloody thing about it, and nothing's changed. In fact, if anything, it's got worse. And until such times as we stand on these guys and get rid of that Robertson and get a real CEO in, somebody with a bit, as I said, with a bit of balls about them, and get stuck in about this lot, not at the SPFL, nothing's going to happen.
He's a nice guy. He likes to build bridges.
We didn't hear that one before. He thought he was Isabel kind of Brunel. Aye.
Nobody's interested in building bridges.
Dave King is.
Why Stuart Robertson thinks we can build bridges with Scottish football is totally beyond me. I'm not interested in building bridges with anybody.
If we also go to watch, that we don't overreact for one bag. We've lost a cup tie at Ibrox. Not the first time, nor the last time.
Hey, Ox, you can say about overreacting. See, the bridges get burnt all the years ago when they made us play the games.
No, I'm talking about the whole criticism of your club.
What?
I don't really care about anybody else in Scottish football, but what I'm saying is, we're in house. If we go to watch it, we don't tear it all down just because we've had one bad result.
This is no.
Ox, it's no one bad result. It's happened over the season. Yes, we're lying second, but you've got to take into account the amount of teams that have beat us. Aberdeen, we've won 1 and 6. Hibs, the last 3. Killie,
Kilmarnock.
Livingston, Kilmarnock. Exactly. That's no one defeat, mate. That's 2 cups that we've not even reached semis. That's just that's not on. No, for the money that we are outpouring on players, and players just aren't producing. And you've got to look at it and say, well, if the players aren't producing, then he's got to play other players. If he doesn't think,
you mentioned that the money, and so you could argue that maybe the board's done too good a job.
Well, they've gave him for what we can gather. They've gave him what he's wanted so far, and what he's brought in. You've got to criticise because they've not been good enough. They haven't. So I don't think it's over criticism. Yes, you can say, well, if there's guys coming on saying that he should get the bullet, you can't give him the bullet. You've got to give him to the end of the season and probably next season. If the same thing happens after another,
we can't. Look, I wanted Pedro out the door. Anybody that's listening to that show knows my views on Pedro would come in. This is a different experiment project or whatever. We can't look to get rid of Stevie Gerrard so quickly. We can't do it.
I know that, but at the same time, Ox, the proof of the pudding's on the park, and at the moment we're only 1 point better off than what Pedro had us. That's ridiculous for what we've outlaid. And if Stevie G's got any brains at all and his backroom staff, then you've got to give him credit in the sense. I think after last night, he's got to be as dejected as everybody else because he's got a reputation as well, and his reputation's in tatters at the moment because the Rangers are just not doing it. So he's got to look at it and say to himself, well, I've got to get this team better. I've got to get this club better, and that's what we've got to hang. That's what we've got to hang our hat on. He's got to get us better because the performances haven't been good enough. The players haven't been producing. We've went too many games where they've just not produced what they're supposed to be able to produce. And if they're not doing that, he's got to look at himself and say, well, I've got to get rid of some of these guys and bring in better. And that's what we've got to do.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting. I always think the hardest thing below Shadow is getting rid of players.
Oh, it's an absolute nightmare of getting rid of a player. I mean, if a player's not playing well, how do you get rid of him? You know, unless he's a world-class player, and the players that we've got at the minute are certainly no world-class players. You're not going to get a player that's not playing well, and you're going to get nothing for him, and you're going to have to end up paying him off, which means there's less money to spend on transfers for players that you want to bring in. For me, it's certainly not a great situation to be in. We certainly can't change Stevie G at the minute, but we're in a difficult situation because. We're now looking mid-March, and effectively our season's over. You know, that's can't go on at the Rangers. So I don't know what they're going to do in the summer because do we give Stevie
I don't think my season's more money? I think we have to win on Saturday and hopefully see where it takes us. I don't think we will do anything, but we've got to keep going and try to rack up as many points as possible.
Absolutely, but you know, I'm saying I did say effectively. You know, I can't really with the way we've been performing. I just can't see us catching up the 8 points in that monkey mob across the
I can't see us winning 9 games in this spot. No.
Oh, to be honest, can you see us winning on Saturday?
Yes,
because we haven't beat them in the league so far. Know what I mean?
That always gives the whole place a lift when I turn up.
But I'm saying we haven't beat them in the league so far, and we know the way they play. They sit in even worse than Aberdeen. Exactly.
You get the same kind of performance. And something I hadn't realised until last night, and my mate mentioned it. We've played Killie, Aberdeen, and Hibs 14 times and only won 3 of their games out of 14.
Yep.
Shocking, man.
Unbelievable.
3 games out of 14 between Aberdeen, Killie, and Hibs.
1 and 6. against Aberdeen, and that was a 4-2 game up there.
Aye.
We haven't beat them at Ibrox.
Yeah.
I mean, that's diabolical. And you look with their outlaying players, as I say, their top performer is on $2,500 a week. That's public record. And look what we're paying in players. Now, you've got to look at that and say, well, have they got better players than us? We know they've no.
Okay,
So what's the answer? So what is it we're doing wrong?
One thing that's worrying me more than anything else is take the Borna Barisic, for instance, nearly a £3 million player that we brought in. When he arrived, we're all going, oh, what a player. You know,
Answered him, mate. Thought he was going to be the answer, right?
You know, he played really, really well. So what is it, you know, I know he's had a couple of injuries and whatnot, and they've interrupted the season, but what's changed between then and now? You know, because he's a shadow of the player he was. So why is he playing so badly?
I'll tell you now, mate. I'd cut my loss. If we could get our money back in him and he moves on and we can use that money to get somebody else in, I would do it, mate. I just
but when he arrived, he was zipping it up. And if we could get that player, you know, but why? This is it. The whole we've got to answer that question because of
when did they rip it up
the past couple of years. When
did they rip it up for us?
When he first arrived, he looked.
When?
I can't. Christ, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
So,
I remember seeing him.
On that basis, are we going to punt Arfield in the thing, mate? In the summertime as well, are we going to punt Candace because he's not really turning it on just now? Are we going
his
to punt
Candace's contract's up next summer. He'll
be off. He'll be off. Candace will be here after the summer.
Connor Goldson, who started reasonably good at the start of the campaign, and now he looks absolutely shadowy. So we're just going to punt him as well because I don't know if that.
Koulibaly was the same. Koulibaly started off brilliant.
I know you never played football, Travel Rug, right? But you sit and where you sit, you see Barisic. Do you think he's got a heart for Scottish football? He's right in front of you.
He's not been impressive. I'm not disputing that. But do we just abandon all hope for people that? I mean, Sasa Papic never really started that great, did he? He had a pretty miserable first season, and then he came on.
Started at left, started at centre half.
But look, all I'm saying is, I don't want to jump on the Barisic bandwagon. I'm hearing everybody slagging him. Our left back is no the problem. It's only one of the many problems. If we're just going to punt players or hunt them just because they don't appear to we want to show, then there's.
Guys, I'm looking at comments on the lobby now, and one of the comments says, teams that we had in the past, we always had 3 or 4 guys that were hard in our sides that kicked the crap out of players, and then we won the battles. Is there no a certain extent to that? Because I think we are far too soft. I really do. I think too many of our players are very, very weak, and that's the word. They're weak.
But we had 3 or 4 hard, and then our players would be get sent half, left, right, and centre with the way things are at the minute.
Well, Steven Gerrard said it himself, didn't he, last night after the game? They get bullied.
Absolutely. Bullied.
Oh, he told you last night after the game in the post-match interview.
How can they get bullied in their own stadium with 45,000 fans, whatever?
With 17 and 19-year-olds.
I know. How can that happen?
Unbelievable.
And then, by the way, how can that happen and then they'll still probably pull on their jersey on Saturday?
And not just a one-off game, continuously. It's happening too often. We're being bullied.
And Ox, just to add to that, now that you've told me you're coming up on Saturday, that's confirmed. I'm going to the game on Saturday. I was. That's what I'm trying to get at earlier on. I was kind of swithering whether to. I mean, I'm away from my family all week, so coming home at the weekend, I was thinking my Saturday could be better spent than going to watch that miserable lot. However, now that you're going to be there, then it makes it worthwhile.
Thank you, mate. They owe you money. But I think we're all hurting, and I was raging after watching that. And you're right, Travel Rug. We do sometimes. Everybody's getting their sort of guys that they fall guys. That they all tend to pick on, you know. And I mean, I didn't give anybody pass marks last night. I thought that some were worse than others, but I didn't give one person pass marks.
No.
Stephen Gerrard got to come out and
You've got a caller on the phone there, Ox.
How we doing, guys? Jim 115 back again. Think they all scatter guns out the right guys there.
Aye, that's a bit, mate.
Honestly, man, I think I'm not happy with any of them, but I think we need to give them a wee bit of we need to cut a wee bit of slack here. We are where we are. Again, we can all agree. I think what the frustrating thing is, we think we fought ourselves with a chance of the Scottish Cup, and we did ourselves. And in the league, we were 2 results away. We've been right up their backsides, and I think that's what's really, really upsetting the fans now. I think we just need to kind of just settle things down here, or this is going to go tits up. There's all sorts of rumours flying about this Mark Allen and Gerrard not happy regarding the signing policies here. And it maybe looks that way, your Barisic and your Katic and the other boy all of a sudden at the picture. I think there could be a wee bit of rumours in here. The rumours that's flying about regarding these two. He's not happy with him.
Are you saying that Gerrard's not happy with Mark Allen?
Well, that's a rumour flying about on social media anyway, guys.
Well, it can happen, mate. It can happen. You know, people in odd walks of life don't go and meet each other, you know. I
heard that one of the boys at wee point, I was actually in the Peter Power there, man, and listening to one of the boys there saying about how he's trying to adopt this Liverpool thing. I think there's a degree in the truth in that. But as somebody else says, we've not got the quality of a player the way Liverpool have to play that system. And he's very, very rigid on it. You'll not move away from it. 4-3-3.
I find that frustrating, mate. I find it frustrating.
It's part of me. He's trying to copy them. They don't move for that style of play either. They do not play any other style of play than the 4-3-3 Liverpool.
But they've spent an absolute fortune to get the pieces in the jigsaw.
Aye, but we've not got that quality of player to play that. Exactly, so that's when he needs to do a wee bit of jigging. When was the last time we moved away from that, playing that 4-3-3? He moved away from it and we get pumped by the way we put our mind back to it. Was it doing it Kilmarnock he tried it? He tried to play the 2 up top.
Aye, and then we also tried it at Motherwell.
Aye.
That points.
He's not going to move away from it.
He's going to have to very, very soon because he's not going to keep.
I'll tell you, because
the
one thing is, we're the most unforgiving fans in the world. We might be the most loyal, but the most unforgiving.
I think it was only the rain that stopped them getting a right shuriken when the game finished last night. If I'm being honest.
Because most of the crowd had already left.
I think it was mostly the rain that kept everybody from giving them a right shuriken at the end of the game.
Aye, probably. But again, doing to me out of frustration and anything else.
Mm-hmm. How do we fix it, mate?
Oh, God knows.
You know,
but again, we've not got the players to fix it just now. I mean, any of the guys that's on that bench, would you put in money? Laughing? No chance. Never be back at the club anyway.
10 of the players played on the 29th of December and we were all happy with them. What's happened?
A few of my mates have said that's probably the worst thing that's probably could have happened to us because we thought we were the bee's knees after that and we've no kicked our arses since.
That's a point of view, isn't it, Blue Star?
There's probably a bit of truth in that, Ox, because we've all said it. Since that game, even the 3 games that we scored the 14 goals, it was against Hamilton, etc., and we've done nothing since then. We really haven't. We've been we're flat. There's been too many games we're flattened to deceive, and that goes for our players. You go back to the way he's playing. Everything has to come for the 2 wingers. We don't get goals for the wingers for starters. Everything's left to Morelos. If he doesn't score, we don't score. We can't have that. We can't be relying on one player to put the ball in the net all the time.
I know what you're saying now. Can I come back in there again, please? See on that issue of the 14 goals that we scored in the 3 games? Where were we gaining new games? We're gained, we're way back to gain now. We're trying to walk the ball in now. See the games, you put your mind back to the Ryan Jacks shooting for distance, Kent shooting for distance. They were all banging goals in for left, right and centre. So why all of a sudden now have we reverted back to this trying to walk the ball in the net? Why are we doing it?
I know. We hardly have a shot outside the box.
Go and watch the games. The goals that we scored, we were scoring them from distance. Hamilton Accies in the other game. We were actually shooting them, going like, oh, what's a wee change here? Because I pay pretty attention to the drills the day before the game. We don't bring them into the game once the game starts. It's fucking mental. Yeah, I'm one of the frustrated mob, but I'm not going to pull the gun on them yet anyway.
I'm still on the train, mate. I'm still on the train. I've moved to a windy seat. I've moved to a windy seat, you know what I mean? But
I don't want to get too close to that door, but...
But I mean, look, I'm not going forever, but I think we've got to watch. Look at the big picture, and
I know, that's true. We do.
You know,
but again, when that follow and all the rest of it, they're not shouting. But he's actually taking his back away. I don't agree because I thought we played some brilliant football this season.
Well, you think of some of the performances in Villarreal and.
How can you say a 14 game run in Europe is taking his back away, Jim?
No. I'm not saying that.
No, I know.
No, I never said that.
No, I'm not talking. I know the point you're making, though. You know, listen, is Oxtears forever saying some of the women on the internet are no women, mate. You know what I mean?
Aye. They're all crash barriers off of them on that follow, I think.
You can't say he's taking his back away. All right, we might not be watching the kind of improvement that we want. You know, we're all frustrated about that, you know. But he certainly not took his back away. You don't call a 14 game run in Europe taking his back away. That's a load of garbage, man. Again,
see when we did up the pacing games, that's when teams come on.
Exactly.
But we're a totally different team when we pick up the pace and go at teams. We're not piss out anybody in that league. Even that fucking, somebody said the Bordeaux Linkers, it would fucking pop them off the park, man.
What's your language, mate? But just
sorry, I do apologise, guys. Anybody that's listening, I apologise.
Just in case your mom's listening, mate. We don't want you getting.
I've just seen the news there. Nil by mouth have come out and slammed the Aberdeen supporters last night as being pathetic because of the 6 songs that they were singing. And further action for the SFA will be happening, so we'll see.
But listen, I mean, I'm not upset. I'll be really honest about you. Was anybody upset at the songs they were singing? We're upset about the team's performance.
That's what bothered me the most.
Absolutely.
Singing it.
So they've got an agenda, and it's only eventually to get on to support one team, you know.
Of course I have.
Sadly, to many people in Scotland, by the way, we are perceived as being what they were singing about. That's just the norm in this country. People do perceive us as being the people that the words that they were using. Sadly.
I was more upset about Clancy's performance and allowing their players to kick lumps out of ours all night. For me,
they done that in that 1-0 game. I know, guys, put your mind back to it. They broke the game up as much as they can.
It's deliberate, Jimbo. It's deliberate, Jim. But the problem we done yesterday, because we gave that goal away in 2 minutes, it just made it so easy for them.
Yeah.
I thought we'd actually played some no bad football in that first half. See, again, if Ryan Jackman goes in, it's a totally different game.
Man, by the way, the one that got me was when Candice is right through and he's only got to roll.
I know.
What was he thinking?
I don't know. It's fine. Look, this has been a problem, though, Ox, you know what I mean, for big chunks of the season. The decision making in the final third is dreadful at times.
Terrible. It's pathetic.
And that was just a perfect example of it. But that's not the first time, you know, the front three's done that, you know. It's some of the decision making. I can't get my head around it, you know. And it's down to quality for me. That's what
look at the balls he put across the other night, and yet he scores a screamer for an impossible angle, and yet he couldn't put a decent cross ball in the whole night.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right, Blue Star, aye.
See when he put that one across last night, I watched him pretty closely. His head went down, man, and I don't think he picked his seat up after it. I thought you would have as well taken the guy off, to be honest with you.
It was an easy ball, as Ox says.
He lasted as long as he did, but again, we never had any wingers to put on the park.
No, the bench looked awful.
Yep.
Strange bench, mate. I don't know whether the injury in McCrory's maybe upset us more than we realised. Anyway, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening.
No bother, guys. Good night, and I'll catch up with you again. Thanks for letting us on.
Don't be a stranger, mate.
No, I'll be back, mate.
just somebody's put in the lobby about the thing. I wasn't talking about the Ibrox disaster songs. I was talking about some of the other songs that were singing.
Oh, can I just make one quick point about McCrory? I know you're just waiting to close the show up, mate. Right, see the 9 games that we've lost this season, McCrory hasn't played in a single one of the games. Do you know that? Hasn't played in a single one of the games.
That's a real interesting stat, mate.
Yep.
And in the 4-2 game that we beat the Sheep up there, he was man of the match for me, especially the second half.
Yeah.
Guys, see the McCrory thing? Remember he came back on a resurgence the game against Celtic when he came back into the team. I get told by the way, and I heard it was fact. See, there was a team ready to have him, and they thought he had him prior to him getting put into that team against Celtic. I'm not going to mention who the team are because he was for the off.
Yeah,
he was ready to walk, was he, Jim?
No, it was. I heard that the team who were supposed to be getting him thought they had him, mate. I'm not going to say any more than that. They believe they had him. Then he played against Celtic and he kind of stayed in the team a wee bit.
Anyway, gentlemen, listen, thanks for the calls. Good night, mate. Good night. Thanks to everybody who's took part this evening. Thanks for all the callers. Great to hear from each and every one. And I know we're hurting, but we'll still be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Fox.